don't think I've ever felt concerned before when it comes to applying makeup, but today I do have a slight concern. I'm using a brand new primer I've never used before. It's by W7, it's Prime Magic Camera Ready Primer. This is it. And on the website it says the purple formula is an anti-dullness primer for generally dull skin which brightens and enhances the skin's natural glow. So I'm really into colour correcting things. Green and purple are things I love to try, whether it's a primer or a concealer, and they've always worked really well. So I actually swatched this on the back of my hand earlier and it stained my fingers, so I'm hoping that it's not going to stain my face. So I'm going to apply this all over. I do use quite a lot of primer because my skin's generally quite dry and gets dehydrated throughout the day, and I find if I use quite a lot of a silicone primer it helps fill in the sort of indentations where I've had old spots, and it helps just lock in that moisture. This is it. If you see it, it's quite purple. I'm just hoping that it doesn't stain my face. It had really good reviews on Amazon. I got this from eBay and it feels really smooth. In my mirror I can see a very faint trace of the colour. I don't like colour correcting products that when you put it on the skin there's no pigment, because then I feel what's the point. And I have a great green concealer from Primark that when you put it on it's really green, it stays green, and when you put your foundation over the top of it, it disguises it, and that is one of my favourite concealers. It's really silky feeling, feels lovely. And today is just another get ready with me. I'm going to be doing just a really nice simple makeup look. There we go. It hasn't stained my fingers this time, thank goodness. I made sure I gave it a really good shake before we put it on. So I'm going to be using the Superstay. This is the more matte version of the Superstay that I done my previous video on, and it's in the shade Ivory. This is a bottle. I really like this foundation as well. I find it's a lot quicker to build. I don't think you can build it as much as you could with the other one. And I'm just going in with my Moda angled foundation brush. This is a really nice brush. I quite like the style of foundation brush. I find you can get it into all the wee nooks and crannies. And it's really soft. It's quite dense, I find, for this style of foundation brush. But you do get a really nice finish. Super pretty. As you can see, as always, doing one side of my face so that you can see what coverage this foundation offers. And let me know in the comment section, how is your time in lockdown going? What's new? What are your things you're looking forward to when the lockdown is over? Did you see how quick that is at cancelling out that redness? It's still quite red here. I actually done a glycolic toner on my face last night to sort of help the dry skin and the spots that are healing. I done a glycolic toner from Nip and Fab to hopefully accelerate that healing speed, and I love glycolic acid. I don't use it very often. You're lucky if I use it once a week, and I love how my skin is the next day. It's been actually a wee while since I've used this foundation, but it is one of my favourites. It's just so nice and it dries down more matte. I wouldn't say it was completely matte, but it is a more matte foundation. And this is one of the foundations I will first go to if I'm in a hurry to go somewhere. And it just blends really well. If you can't tell, I've actually already curled my eyelashes. If I remember to curl them, I like to do it before I put my makeup on, and then I like to do it again just before I'm about to put the mascara on. And I'll be using my Maybelline Countdown palette. It's a new palette, I only got it the other week. It's really nice. We're going to be doing a really simple eye look with that one today. And I'm going to be using my favourite mascara again, and hopefully with my curling my eyelashes, hopefully you'll really see how good that mascara is. It is my all-time favourite mascara. It's the best mascara I've ever used. And now that I have a oil cleanser, it's so much easier to get it off, so I can wear it now as much as I like. So I think that side is almost done. I'm going to go over this little section again, and then I'm going to go into this side. You do get slight creasing in the eye with this foundation, but a light dusting of powder really puts that in place. And this isn't a foundation I would say that you really need to set it with a powder. This foundation, quite a lot of the time I can get away with not setting it at all if my skin is particularly dry. And another wee pump. But there's the coverage over this little bit annoying spot that won't go away. And this foundation again is really versatile. You can use it with this style of brush, you can use it with the more flat topped kabuki style brushes, and also beauty blenders. And you get a different finish with each method of application. It's really good. Even just one wee light layer of this I find is a really good way to achieve a natural look to the skin. It's so versatile and so pretty. I think you might see better on this side the coverage that this is offering. I was actually so worried that that primer was going to start to pill because it did on my hand, and I'm really pleased it hasn't. I would say it's actually made this foundation blend so well. You see this bit's not being covered, but already that's just one dip going in, blending that out. And I would say the primer is making the skin look quite radiant, and it's worked quite well under this foundation. It's the first time I've tried it, the purple in the colour correcting range. I have the green ones there as well, and I'll be doing a video on them, but I'm pleasantly surprised. And the texture of it was quite unusual for me. I like more silicone based primer, but this one really went on really smoothly, and I feel it's offering this really easy way to flawlessly blend out the foundation. It is creasing in the eyes a little more than it normally would with my other primers. But I quite like that. And I would say, not that I have much problems with foundations on the nose, but sometimes I need to be quite careful when I'm applying foundation on my nose, because sometimes I get brush strokes or patchiness on my nose, and I find a lot of people get that. But this time I feel like it's really stuck well. But as I say, first time using it, I hope it lasts all day. I am so far really impressed. A little bit. Got a couple of breakouts on this side. Let me know what your favourite primer is and why. Do you like colour correctors? Do you like normal primers? Do you like a tinted primer that also adds a bit extra coverage to your foundation? Do you use a primer at all? Maybe you don't like primers. I know that primers can be quite a hit or miss for people. Some people love them, some people hate them. I personally, since I started using primers, very rarely don't wear a primer because I have indentations and scarring on my face, and I find a primer really helps my foundation fill that all in. But yeah, so far I am really impressed. I'm going to go in with a light dusting of powder because I feel with the primer, which is the only thing that has changed, that this isn't setting as matte as it did, but I really do like the finish. And as always, for my setting my powder, I love the W7 Flawless Face with its colour correctors. Again, really like colour correctors. I think they're great. I find they really do make a difference to my skin with my broken veins, my pigmentation. Every little helps. I'm just going to go lightly all over the face. Because it's pressed as well, you're not going to get that packing on in areas, which is sometimes I get with loose powders. If I use a loose powder, sometimes I find I end up with too much on the face and it'll dry my skin out. But I've took to using this rather than my pressed powder foundations to set my makeup because there's just something about this, and I think because it's new and I'm really enjoying to use it. So I'm going to let that sit just for a little minute before I go in with anything else, and whilst that is settling, I'm going to do my eyeshadow. But I'm really impressed with how that looks. I think it's really pretty. The tickly nose is starting, and I only recently found out what the tickly nose is, and it's when a foundation that's more matte starts to dry, it makes your nose really unbearably tickly. So the eyeshadow palette, the one from Maybelline New York, the Countdown palette, beautifully pigmented palette. It is so nice. I feel like this is a really nice everyday palette, and you get a good amount in it as well, and on the back of it actually tells you looks that you can do with it. And today I'm going to be doing this side, and it's an orangey brown, and I would say this top shade was quite a coppery colour, and this goes to quite a dark brown. And for the first colour, I'm actually going to go in with the white here. I love using really light colours in the corner of the eyes. I feel it just really brightens everything up and makes you look quite fresh faced. And when I do go into the corner, I do like to slightly bring it up onto the brow bone, so that when I open my eye, you're going to see that colour up there. And that's quite a shimmery white. It's not overly shimmery, it's just nice. Sometimes I find if you use a very shimmery colour in certain matte colours, it can be really difficult to blend and it doesn't look flattering, I find sometimes, not all the time. But I have a couple of palettes where I don't mix shimmery colours with mattes. You see what I mean? It just brightens up the inside of the eyes. Very pretty. And for the colour in my crease, I'm going to go in with my fluffy Moda brush, and that's the one I'm going to use. I'm just going to dab into that very lightly, tap off the excess, and just bring that out. I want quite a light eye look today that's just, I don't know, a quarantine look. I think that's the only way I can describe it. It's like I care. but don't care too much. Into the crease again. And I'm joining it up just with that first shade we went in with in the corner. But you see, it's not incredibly noticeable. It's more a transition shade than anything else, and it just helps the other colours blend in a little bit more seamlessly. Go back on the other side. Did you see what I mean? I think it just gives your eye that nice bit of colour without being too much. And I do really like this palette. These are colours that I wouldn't normally wear, but since I got this palette I've been wearing them more often. I quite like them for just a really nice, simple, easy eye look. And that's pretty much what I'm all about with eye makeup these days. And again, only using 2 brushes. And for me personally, I don't think it matters incredibly much whether your brush is tapered or just flat, as long as it's fluffy and you're comfortable using it. There we go, I think that's blended out quite well. The next colour I'm going to go in with is the brown. Very ever so slightly. I'm going in with the fluffy brush first, so that I get a more diffused look. Then I'm going to go in with the flat brush and put a little bit more in. This is just to achieve a really easy, almost smoky eye. And what are you watching on TV to help pass the time? What are you watching? Give us a clue, tell us. We actually watched the Tiger King series all over again. If you haven't watched that, my goodness, it's fantastic. It really is. We completed it when it first came out. We watched the full lot. When we got the new episode, we watched that. Actually quite disappointed that the latest episode was, we understand because of quarantine and lockdown, you can't go out as much and do a proper documentary, but we were quite disappointed. We were so hyped for it, then we watched it and we're quite disappointed. And last night when we were eating dinner we decided to watch it again, and do you know what, somehow watching it again, it's like you're actually getting more information out of it the second time. It's fantastic. If you haven't watched that, oh seriously, you'll probably love it. I think they were saying it was the most talked about series on Netflix. It's been in the papers, it's been in the news. And then you can tell me, do you think Carol Baskin done it? Let me know what you think in the comments. But it was a fantastic programme. Do you see how that just really warms that up? Really well. I do find that using a tapered fluffy brush for this part is quite, it makes it a lot easier than using a flat brush. A lot easier. I think this is such a beautiful palette from Maybelline. I really do like Maybelline stuff. So I'm going to go in with a flat brush, the more dense, and I'm just going to go into that corner, the outside corner, and pat a little bit in, just to add a little bit more depth. Make sure it's even. Did you see what I mean? It's far easier than putting the dark colour in with this and then blending it out. Again, blending it out. I find doing it almost back to front like this, starting out with the fluffy brush, then this one. It's just a little bit easier. And another good thing is if you do have an eyeshadow that's got a lot of fallout, you can actually do your eye makeup before your foundation. If I'm doing quite a glam eye, I generally will do my eyes first before anything else, and I'll do my eyeliner so that you get that really clean, crisp eye look, and it does make a difference. And that way, if you do get any fallout down here, sometimes if you're putting on a mascara you can get little drops ending up on your bottom lid. So much easier to clean up that way. So I am just ever slightly just gonna blend that, but I'm concentrating it into the outer corner. Then I'm going to go back in with this, and I'm going to go in with this shade here. Oh, this shade here. I find it really awkward to move today. And I have a mirror below the camera, just so that I can really see that this is all evenly blended out. I'm putting this almost as a join to that dark shade, so it's half on that brown and then half just on the lid. And I feel like you get a really nice smoky transition colour. And then the next colour I'm going in with is this one here next to the white. It's just a shade or two lighter than that last colour there. But these are all beautiful, really beautiful pigmented eyeshadows. And I'm always impressed with the little looks that you can achieve with such a small palette in comparison to some palettes that you see that they are absolutely massive. I'm just going to go back in with this white colour and go over that inner corner one more time. And I'm not going to wear any eyeliner today, just mascara. Just a little bit of mascara. Excuse me. So, the mascara is the L'Oreal Paradise Extatic. This is a waterproof mascara. I talked about this before in another video where I just could not get it off until I used an oil cleanser. You can cry, you can walk about the Scottish Highlands in this, it will not budge. It's like hairspray for your eyelashes. I've said this before, if you really overly curl your eyelashes, then put this on, it's going to hold it there till you wash it off. It doesn't budge. I don't get any flakiness with this mascara. It's just a fantastic mascara overall, and my all-time favourite. And I would say mascaras are one thing that I like, a really good quality mascara. And I would say naturally I do have long lashes, so when I do curl them and put this on and it holds it there, see what I mean? It's just fantastic. And I have quite naturally light coloured eyelashes, and the pigment in this mascara just really brings them out. And even after you've really got this off your eyelashes, it's like it tints them. It's great. I've never had my eyelashes tinted. I was going to get them tinted many moons ago when I was at college, and they did a patch test and it didn't seem to agree with me. Nothing major happened, it was just very itchy. Very itchy. And the smell, oh. But let me know, do you get your eyelashes tinted or your eyebrows tinted? Does it still have that strange smell? Because everything seems so heavily scented these days, doesn't it? A little bit of scent is nice, but nothing outlandish. And what's the weather like where you are? Are you in the UK? Are you abroad? We've had superbly beautiful weather the past couple of days. Lots of sun. Until last night we had quite a bit of rain. But it was still warm, which was nice. I remember one time I went up to the Highlands and it was so strange. The weather was so different. It was absolutely chucking it down the rain, but it was warm. It was beautiful. It was so strange. Whereas here it can get so cold. Like at night we're still putting the fire on because it's still really, really cold. But I think the highest we've had, it was 19 degrees. And I am trying to actually achieve a tan, possibly for the first time in my entire life. It would be really nice to get a tan on my legs. Normally I hide from the sun, I do not really like the heat. But I'm hoping that this year I might actually get a little bit of tan. So that's me done with my mascara. I absolutely love this mascara, and as I said, I curled my eyelashes before I did the video, before I started the video, before I did my makeup. I over curled them in hope that by the time it came to putting the mascara on, the eyelashes had quite a good amount of volume, and I think it's worked, if I do say so myself. But I love that mascara, absolutely love it. So next is the Rimmel London Trio. So you've got your highlight, your contour, not a bronzer, contour, and the blush. Sometimes if I am quite pasty, this can be, it's like too ashy for my skin and it just doesn't look very nice. But we're going to try it today ever so lightly. So first I'm going to go in with my highlighter. This highlighter is quite a nice natural highlight. It's not too much, it's quite gentle. And if you new to highlight or you like something quite light, I would recommend this one. You see, it's just nice. I think you actually get this in different shades for like darker skin tones. But you see, it's just a little bit, not too much. Now I love using this just to bring that dimension back into the face, especially unlike today where I do quite heavy makeup. So pretty. But just think, it's just really nice. It doesn't have big chunks of glitter in it. I'm not a fan of the big chunks of glitter because I do have amazing smile lines because I laugh and smile and have done for my entire life. So it's by the time I'm in my 80s, people will know I've had a good life. But I find if I use a glitter highlighter, it can just emphasise how happy I have been my entire life. And for the next part, I'm going to be going in to the contour, this middle one, with this Primark brush. This is a flat contour brush. I think this is fantastic to really achieve that sculpt look. You only need a little bit of this, just a little bit. If you go too much into that, you're going to look really ill. And I like to just ever so slightly raise where I put my contour in comparison to where my cheekbone ends. But you see how that just, thanks to the straightness of this brush, this will get blended out obviously. And I like to add a little bit in here as well. This just makes this part of your cheekbone stand out a little bit more. gotta do, you see what I mean? Compared to this. It's just a really nice way to sharpen up that look. I actually tried an eye cream today. Something I've never bothered with has been an eye cream because yeah, people saying they're quite gimmicky, and then you get other ones that have got ingredients in it that are actually great for the eye area. So I just got a little cheapy one, I'll show you it. It contains caffeine, that was the main thing that drew me to it. It's this. It's only a 15ml tube, but it was like £2, I've never heard of the brand. This is the brand, number 6. It's only a couple of pound. I used it under my under eye, and I think it does seem to weaken it up a little bit. But I just wanted something different, something to treat myself with, and it was on eBay and it was like £2 or £3. They also done face masks, hydrators. They contained red, was it red? Can't remember. It was collagen and something. The ingredient list did look quite good. They are vegan, they are cruelty free, they do not test on animals. Now I'm just going to blend these lines in. I think this side maybe so ever so slightly darker than that, or it's the light. We'll soon find out if one side's darker than the other. You can actually blend this in with this brush. I have done it, but sometimes I feel if you're really wanting your coverage, if you do blend with that brush, sometimes it can move your full face. Whereas this is actually a fluffy contour brush. It's, for me personally, a bit much to use it to apply the contour because, I mean, I would use it to apply blusher, bronzer, sorry, but for the contour it's not, you know, as precise as the flat top brush. Bring this top part down too far. You can really see that highlight of it. I really like that highlight, and obviously I've got a ring light there, so it's really bringing out the contour and the highlight, whereas in natural light it's not as intense. But it is just really nice. Even the sun hits your face with this, it really just naturally draws your eye to it. And it wasn't expensive, it was like £6 from Asda, because I shop at Asda. We don't have makeup shops nearby, unfortunately. Well, maybe it's fortunate. I'd be bankrupt. But there is eBay. I'm essentially probably technically bankrupt because I keep ordering stuff on my face. It's like I have this room just for makeup because I have so much. So there we have it. And I really like that highlight, and I really like that eyeshadow palette. It's just so nice. I just think it's so warm and really makes, I think this colour brings any eye colour out, just really makes your eyes pop. I'm going to go in with a little bit of lipstick. I'm really taking to this nudie colour. It's, I always forget what this one is called. It is, I'm sure you had a different name the other day, Naked Flame. I think that's what it's called, but I'm sure I have another colour in this range and it says the same. And it's quite a neutral colour, I would say. Quite a safe colour. I think and that's why I quite like it, because it is quite a safe colour, but it's just nice. I want all the attention to be up on the eyes, not down at the lips. I really love red lipstick, but red lipstick is so intense that sometimes it can really take the attention away from the eyes. I don't want that for today. So this is the look. I really think that primer has made my skin look brighter. I'm really chuffed with this makeup look. I really like it. And that mascara is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. But it is. It's just great. It's really nice. I think it's a super flattering look. Just super flattering. And I think this is a look that would really suit all ages. More mature skin, my age group, I don't even know what you would class me as, but I just think it's so nice. And this is all stuff that you can pick up in a supermarket, drugstore, everything. So it's Rimmel, Maybelline Superstay Foundation. It's just, I'm so pleased with it, and I really hope that you enjoyed this makeup video. Please let me know down in the comment section if you would like to see me try out anything else. Let me know how you're finding lockdown. What part of the world are you from? Are you from the UK? Are you from somewhere abroad? I hope you are all doing really well, and I can't wait to see you again in the next video. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm sure I will see you